Hello everyone, this is Brad from the Casual Planeswalker, and today I want to show you how to play Magic the Gathering Online on a Mac. If you're like me, you've been extremely frustrated to find out that the Magic the Gathering Online client doesn't work on a Mac. It's been around for like 10 years or more, and it still doesn't have a Mac version. I don't understand why, but I have found through some Googling and some trial and error how to get it working, and it works pretty well. Probably depending on how good your computer is, it'll work even better. I've got a bit of a weird situation where I'm running it on external drives because I don't have much hard drive space, but it does work. I've played lots of games, and I'll show you a little bit of what it looks like running Magic inside a virtual version of Windows. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to install Windows on a virtual computer inside your Mac, and most of it is free. Obviously, you have to have a here's the list of what you'll need to make this work. You'll need a version of Windows, so obviously you'll have to pay for that. Maybe you have a version on a computer, an old computer laying around. I don't know. This is up to you. You're going to have to get an ISO file. So that's basically like a copy of it's a file version on your computer that pretends that it's a CD or DVD with all of the Windows installation files on it. So they're available for free. You just have to have a version of Windows, but I think it'll let you download it without putting in the activation key until after you install Windows. So just Google download Windows 10 disk image file, ISO file, and you'll come to this page, and you can pick the edition. I'm going to use Windows 10, and then you can click confirm, and then you can choose the options that apply to you. Probably, if you're watching this, probably English, confirm. And then you got 32 or 64. I went with 64-bit. Google the difference for what's right for you, but I just went with Windows 10, 64-bit. This download is pretty big. It's like 4.5 gigabytes, so it might take a while to download. Next thing you're going to need is Virtualbox, which is free software. And basically this lets you run virtual versions of other operating systems within your current operating system. So if you're on a Mac, you can run a virtual version of Linux or of Mac or Windows inside of your computer. So we're going to run a virtual version of Windows. It's going to act like it's a little computer, and it'll have Windows on there, and I'll show you how that all works out. But go ahead and Google VirtualBox and download this. It's for free. That's awesome. And then go ahead and Google. The last thing is an MTGO account. So if you haven't signed up for Magic the Gathering Online, you can download it for free. I think you might have to pay like $10 to start your account, but they give you a bunch of free stuff, free cards and whatever. And you will have to buy your cards online, but they're pretty cheap compared to cards in real life generally. And also, they give you, I think they give you a whole bunch of decks to play with in the beginning as well. So that'll be the next thing you'll need, and then you'll need at least 25 gigabytes of hard drive space or space on, for example, I'm running these virtual versions of Windows on external drives. I have an external hard drive, and then I got a flash drive that I'm running them on, and VirtualBox just recommends by default to have at least 25 gigabytes free. So you have to make sure you have that. After that, then you're good to go. So I'll show you in a second here what you can expect from Magic Online using this setup. You'll get a little taste of what it looks like, and then we'll get into the actual process of installing it, and I'll try to go as fast as possible. So this is an actual preview of what it looks like when you're running Magic the Gathering Online inside a virtual version of Windows. You can see it works normally, just like if you've never played Magic Online, it works just like playing Magic cards, and you just click around to do things you would normally do with your hands. If you have played Magic Online, then it'll work just the same as it does on your Windows computer. just in a tiny little virtual window with, you can browse the internet and everything. The good thing about Magic Online is it doesn't really take much resources, so it's pretty easy to run. So that's a little preview of what you can expect, and we'll get into the actual setup process. All right, installing VirtualBox is really simple. It's just like installing anything else. Just, click on the buttons and let it do its thing. Then it gets interesting. So what we're going to do is once you open VirtualBox, we're going to go to New and then create a virtual Windows machine. So this will depend on the version of Windows, the ISO that you downloaded. In my case, I had the Windows 10 64-bit. So I'm going to call this Win 10 64 and Microsoft Windows. And then I'm going to click continue. And I just went with the recommended settings here. It'll probably be different based on what your computer is. And then we're going to create a virtual hard disk now. So it will, this is fine. This is fine. And I have not had success with dynamically allocated, probably because I'm using external hard drive. So I just go with fixed size and I go with whatever they recommend. So here they have 32 gigs. I'm going to select here's where you choose where you want to install this file. So basically this is going to be a virtual computer file. So it's just going to be a file that sits on your computer just like anything else, but it's going to be really big. Depending on how much space you have free to give VirtualBox, I'm guessing the more space that you give it, the better chances you have at better performance. So that's up to you. It depends on how much space you want to give it. I'm going to use an external drive and I'm going to give it 25 gigs. So I'm just going to, Win 1064, and then I'm going to click save. And so I'm putting it on an external drive. Wouldn't really recommend that. If you have hard drive space on your computer, just use that because it gets a little weird. Just going between, all the cables and whatever. So I'm going to go 25 gigs and then click create. And now this process here will probably take a little while. It'll probably take so it's recommending somewhere around 20 minutes. I've seen it take different amounts of time depending on what it's doing. So just let that run. I'm going to pause this so you don't have to watch it, and we'll resume after that is created. All right, so we just got that set up. So the next step is we're going to power up our new fake Windows computer. But first, we have to go grab that ISO file that we downloaded from of Windows. So we're gonna click here. We basically need to pretend that there's a DVD-ROM drive on this fake computer. It's getting real weird. But we have to pretend that there's a DVD-ROM drive and that the Windows installation CD or DVD is in there right now. So here's your pretend computer. And then you're going to go to settings, and then you're going to go to storage. And then down here where it says empty, see it's got a disk drive. You want to load up a fake disk drive. So I've already got this one here, Windows 10, English 64. Maybe you have another one, Windows 7, whatever. You can use any version that Windows, that Magic the Gathering will play on. So I'm going to load this fake disk in here and then click OK. So now whenever this fake computer starts up, it's going to pretend that ISO file is a DVD in its drive. So we're going to start up this computer now. And here we go. It's got some messages. It's pretty cool how it automatically captures your mouse and keyboard. At least for me, it's worked totally fine. I'm sure these days it should be expected. So though I still think this is magic, witchcraft, and wizardry that they can make a fake computer run inside a computer. Okay, so pick all these normal things. So this is basically just like you're setting up a brand new computer. Gonna click install now. And it's just gonna run through the normal Windows setup process. So you're just gonna have to choose, you can put in a product key of your copy of Windows. If you don't have one, you can go buy one. And I'm gonna see what it does because I've already set up mine on my other install you saw here. I'm just gonna go with home. So I think the basic idea here is you can set up Windows and then you can go activate Windows afterwards. So if you don't currently have a valid copy of Windows, you can just install it anyways, and I think it might give you like 30 days to go and activate it. So let's go to custom and then choose this fake drive that you created, this file on your computer that's pretending it's a hard drive. And I chose 25 gigs. Maybe yours will be bigger, but it should pop up as the right one here. And then click next. And now it's going to go through this process of basically just installing Windows like it would on a normal computer. And it'll take a little while, you know. I'm not going to make you sit and wait through all of that. So I will pause the video and then come back when it gets to the next step. All right, everyone, we are back. We did have a little technical difficulty recording the rest of the setup process. My recording software kind of crapped out, but it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. If you ever installed Windows, it's just following prompts. It's designed for anybody to be able to do. So it's very simple. Just tell them what country you're from. Turn off Cortana if you want to help with performance. And yeah, just click next, click OK. Should be fine. So then it will ask you to create an account on this virtual Windows machine. I created this account, MTGO, and I created a password. So I'm going to log in there. Super simple. And here you go. You have a version of Windows that is set up on a virtual computer. It magically uses your internet connection. It can even play sounds. I usually turn sounds off just to get a little bit more performance. Yeah, it's a fully functioning version of Windows. And if you know anything about Windows optimization, I would definitely highly recommend doing anything you can to improve the performance and reduce the use of resources in this virtual Windows machine, because as you'll notice, playing Magic online, even though it's a very simple program to operate, at least with my sort of janky setup on a little bit older Mac, and I'm also running this off of an external hard drive, which is just super silly. Yeah, it can go pretty slow, so that can be annoying when you're playing Magic. But it does work, and that is better than not working. So what I'm going to do next, once I've got Windows set up here, is I'm just going to use this browser, and I'm going to go find me some Magic the Gathering Online. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this to connect. I'll pause so you don't have to wait with me. All right, so we've gotten to Google, and then I'm going to search Magic the Gathering Online. Cool. And the first result is download Magic Online. I'm going to click that. Going to play the waiting game. Much less fun than playing Magic. And then, yeah, available for Windows only. Of this I am well aware, Magic. Okay, so we're going to click download now. And then this is up to you. You can either save it to the virtual Windows there or just click run. It's actually just going to launch this program that is then going to download Magic the Gathering Online. So the first program that you run is just going to go out and download Magic Online. So I guess you have to download it twice. It's kind of confusing, but I'm sure they have a reason for doing that. once that thing starts up, then we are done with the browser. Go ahead and close that. I can't really say whether or not installing updates on this virtual Windows is worth it. I don't really know. If you happen to know, if you have more expertise on this, just go ahead and comment below and give people some advice, or I'll pass it on to the people that see this video. Yeah, okay, so click install. There, so now it's going to go download the whole Magic Online client. And once again, I will not make you suffer through watching this download, but your experiences will vary with your internet connection and how fast your computer is. Mostly internet at this point, but I've got strikes against me in both regards. So yeah, I will pause the video and wait for this to download, and I will show you what it looks like when it's up and running. Okay, it's about to finish the download and should be launching the installation. And if you're not recording, your virtual machine will probably run better. If you have a better computer than I do, it'll run better, etc., etc. Okay, so, first step, read every single word of this agreement diligently, line by line, of course, and see if you agree with all of these terms, giving away your second-born child, etc., etc. Click accept, and now you are ready to join the world of Magic the Gathering Online. If you happen to already have an account, then go ahead and look me up at Ozzy19. I'd be happy to be your friend and share the battlefield with you from time to time. If not, if you haven't started an account, then it looks like you can try it out with a free trial. You can create a new account. There might be a fee, like $9.99 or something to start out, but I think they give you cards in return, and it's well worth it in my opinion to be able to play Magic anytime, anywhere in the world. Really awesome. So you saw some gameplay footage there in the beginning of this video, but I'll just show you how to get up and running if you already have an account especially. And again, I'm recording, I have the virtual machine running on a fairly old laptop to begin with, and I'm recording on top of that, so my resources are especially limited right now. Your usage may vary. It's probably better than what I'm experiencing here on the screen. But even with this setup, minus the recording part, I've been able to play lots and lots of matches, and it's worked out pretty well. Every once in a while, it'll just randomly freeze. I don't really know what that's about. If you happen to know more about this process, if you have any improvements for me to help other people, let me know in the comments. If you found this video useful, then feel free to share it, like the video, like the channel, subscribe, etc. And I think there may be some more videos coming out here in the future. But either way, definitely appreciate your time. Good luck. Have fun playing Magic the Gathering Online on your Mac. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you later.